Hey Team Jackson. This tutorial is for those of you early adopters out there who created Google accounts using your school email. Now here's what's going to happen. You probably heard that your district has decided to have the ISD create and manage Google accounts for teachers and students in your building. Now this is going to be really helpful, especially when you're working with students. But for those of you who already went out and created Google accounts using your school email, there's going to be a few things that you're going to need to do in order to keep access to the docs that you've already created. Now, here's what I'm going to show you how to do. I'm going to show you how to reset your password so that your Google account syncs with your other school accounts, how to create a new account, and then how to share those documents back with your old account. So here's what we want to do. Remember, you only need to do these steps if you've previously created a Google account using your school email. Now, if you created one on your own using a personal account, no problem at all. You don't need to worry about this. And also, you're not going to need to worry about this until the ISD flips the switch and creates those Google accounts for your district. Now, your administrators worked with the ISD to determine the date, so you're going to know ahead of time when that's going to be. Now, when the date arrives and you try to sign into your Google account, you're going to see something like this. So before doing anything with your account, what we need to do is back up a little bit and reset your password so that your Google account syncs with your other school accounts. So here's how we do that. First thing is you're going to need to use a school Windows desktop or laptop that's connected to the internet and the school network. Then log in like you normally would using your school username and password. And then when your desktop screen has loaded, just press the Control Alt Delete buttons all at the same time on your keyboard. Next, you're going to see a menu that's going to appear. One of the options is Change Password. Select that. After selecting Change Password, you're going to be asked to add some of your account information. So here's the important thing. This is a password reset. So if your password is 8 characters or more, you can just reuse that again. You're only going to need to change your password if you want to, and if it is less than 8 characters. Now remember that password because you're going to need it. The next step, now that you've reset your school password, is that you need to create a new, or we're going to call this a temporary Google account. Here's how you do that. Go to google.com and sign in just like you always have. And remember, your Google account and your school account aren't synced yet. So you're going to use whatever password you've used in the past and not the one that you just reset in the previous step. You're going to be greeted with a page saying that an update to your account is required, and there's a lot of information there. So if you'd like to go through it, more power to you, but you don't have to. In the account update checklist, select the Next button. Now you're going to have some options as to which account you want to use to move your data to. Now they give you the option of either creating an account with Gmail and a new Gmail address, or to use an account that uses a non-Google email, something like Hotmail or Yahoo or some email account other than your school email. Now, one important thing that I learned the hard way is that you can't use an account that's already been created. You have to use an email that hasn't been linked to a Google account. For example, let's say I wanted to use my personal Gmail account. Well, because when I made that Gmail account, it created a Google account, I can't use that. It has to be a new account. And I also can't use my personal Hotmail account if I've already used that to create another Google account in the past. Once again, it has to be a new account. So I'm just going to assume that the easiest way for us to do this is going to be to create a new Gmail account. Now, it may take you a few tries to find a username that no one else is using. Remember, this is just a temporary a temporary account, so don't worry if this is something you normally not use. Just remember to write down your username and password so that you don't forget it. Now, when you finally find one that works, you're going to need to verify your account. And the way that Google does that is they're going to send you a numeric code, and you're going to need to plug that in on the next step. So you can choose between doing that by text message, or you can choose to do that by a voice call. But as soon as you hit that, it's going to send that to you eventually. Now, don't worry if it doesn't come right away. It took mine a few minutes. So once you enter the verification code that you just received, it's going to open up your new and empty Google account. Don't freak out. We're not interested in Gmail. What we want access to is the Google Drive. So this is where all of your previously created Google Docs are being stored. Now, what you need to do is get into Google Drive and reshare those folders and documents with your school email. So in order to do that, what you have to do is right-click on the folder or the document in your Google Drive, select Share, type in your school email address into the Invite People field, and also just double-check and make sure that the editing privileges are set to Can Edit before you hit Share and Save. And then just repeat that process for all the folders and documents that you want access to. At that point, you have shared everything that you want, so you need to sign out of this new temporary account that you've created and move on to the next step. So now that you've finished creating a temporary account and sharing access to the Google Docs and folders that were back in your old account, there's only a few more steps that you need to do. What you need to do now is go back and sign into Google using your school email and the password that you reset for your account all the way at the beginning of this tutorial. It's going to welcome you to your new account. Go ahead and press I accept. And you'll now see the Google Drive that's attached to your school account. Don't panic if you don't see anything in your drive. That's okay. It's just hiding from you. What you're going to do is you're going to find all of the documents and folders that you reshared with yourself in the previous step over in the Shared with Me area. And hopefully everything should be there. This is how you can keep access to all the documents that you created in your old Google account before that switch over to the district managed account. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to contact us at the JCISD Technology Service Desk, and the phone number for that is 517-768-5299, and let us know how we can help.